look at Buster Posey coming through and beating his own San Francisco Giants record for highest paid player in team history, and that's Willy Adames, 7 years, $182 million. Posey's number was 167 back in the day. And also, it was a good point. It's still half the money they were going to give Correa. Remember that Correa deal? That was $13,350. So now you've got Adames and Chapman on the left side of the infield. That's nice.
It is nice, but how's his power going to play in San Francisco? Is my own one. Anybody that signs in San Francisco, that's my first question.
I have an answer for you, but I don't believe it. So Sarah Langs did the stat. He had, I think, 32 home runs last year, career high. She said 31 of them would work in San Francisco, but it doesn't. We know it doesn't work like that.
Just because they go a certain distance doesn't mean that the wind and the fence size and all that.
Yeah, it's not going to. So what do you think if he plays full season healthy next year? Because no one's broken
25. 30, right? That's a good year.
Yeah.
For me,
I agree. In the NL West, that's a good year for him. I mean, listen, the NL Central is a great division to hit in. I don't care what anybody says, and I know the league is broken up the schedule, but I played in the NL West. That division is no cakewalk. I've seen dudes who have a lot of pop go to parks like San Francisco, San Diego, and all of a sudden you hit that ball, that marine layer, like AJ said, that wind coming off the water, that coolness in the air, that ball isn't flying like you might think. And especially in San Francisco, that's not the easiest place to hit in. So if he hits 25, I'm with AJ. That's a great year. But defensively, I think you're definitely shoring up the left side of that infield. And then probably have Eloy in left field would be probably the best bet.
Wait, you're saying Ramos? Ramos?
I like him in left. Now the left side of that now the left side of the defense is really it's nice.
For San Francisco, Posey's going to try and do things differently, right? He's going to try and create a team that thrives off run prevention, maybe values the clubhouse guys a little bit more, because Adames obviously is a really good player, but he's usually got rave reviews from guys that have played with him. Not just for being a good dude, but the energy boost. I mean, have you been around guys where, some dudes show up, they're sluggish, they're like, it's middle of the season, and then you look over and you're like, damn, I should shut up because Adames is jumping off the walls just happy to be here. Doesn't that help? For some guys, maybe it didn't matter to you, obviously, but I'm sure you played with some teammates that were like, oh, man, it's August 10th. We're just okay right now. And then you play with other guys like Adames who's like, I'm so excited to be here. I can't wait for the next game.
Of course, everyone has different personalities, different energy levels. That's why you have to have some old guys, some young guys, some guys in between. I mean, as you get older, obviously you lose your energy, and then as the young guys have to kind of keep the older guys up. Now, there are some older guys who play with like a Jeff Francoeur who's happy every day, and then you play with Nick Markakis who doesn't speak for 8 months straight, right? So, I mean, but he was still bringing it every day. Just because you're bouncing off the walls, there's also the guys that bounce off the walls that people look at and like, this guy just stopped because it's crap.
Yeah, there are some guys fake hustle or just annoying, but I don't think Adames.
No, Adames is great. I'm not saying that about Adames.
He's got a great. He's got an infectious personality. Period.
He does. Yeah, he's a good dude. All right, so let me compare this to the news of the day. Cyrus, who works for the Athletics, been on the show a lot. I'm a big fan of his work. He said the Mets paid less per win for Juan Soto than the Giants paid for Willy Adames, assuming a 7-win projection for Soto, which is less than he had, right? They're a little more conservative. Probably he's going off, my guess, is a Fangraphs or a Baseball Prospectus. No aging until 29, half win. I think he means decline after that. $11.5 million per win.
Yeah.
That's how front offices do things these days.
Of course they do. Of course they do. I mean,
that's how you justify it.
That's why there's a lot of numbers dudes that are like, actually, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
They're trying to put it in context because obviously, he made 182. Soto made a little bit more, right? His total? A little more?
A little bit more.
Very different players. But that's the point. Even like you guys mentioned with...
That's how Scott Boras justifies it for the teams, for sure.
It is. Yeah. But also, even if Soto's not a great defender, he's not a speedster, but his bat for most projection models plays that up for front offices. And that's why teams love him.
Okay.
internally.
Yeah, and we can say all that too, Scotty. But let's not forget he had an 8.1 WAR for a guy who just hits. That's incredible.
Right.
He walks.
Well, they value
because
walks.
listen, and this is not.
He also scored over 100 runs too, AJ.
He also had Aaron Judge hitting behind him too, who hit 50-something homers. So if he was on base 50 times, there's half of those. Plus his 40 homers, there's 40 more. So before you even dig into that, but I'll say this:
he's on base. Yeah,
I can make a million. WAR is the end all argument of all time. But you can look at certain players that I know are a better player than another guy, but this guy has a higher WAR because he walked or he did something else. So let's stop with just making WAR the end all be all, because it's not.
No, it's just a comparative stat.
I know, but I'm just saying, because I could come up with a stat that can make somebody look good, and I could be like, well, let's use this to make this player look good.
Like Babbitt. I think
Babbitt, Wabbit, I don't know, Fip, Jip, Crip, who cares?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a million stats. You can always find something to make guys look good. It's all about how you want to pay guys. I can look at you and say, yeah, Juan Soto's a really good player. He should get paid a lot of money. Fine.
Okay, so let's finish with this because this is pretty simple stat, and then we're going to talk to Bob Nightingale next. Power rank the NL West post Adames signing.
Dodgers are so far ahead of everybody.
Okay, but then what?
Still the Padres for me if they find a pitcher.
Who's third?
Giants.
Right now, or more signings?
Diamondbacks are still going to be good.
I got Arizona third. And I still have
the Giants are still fourth.
Yeah.
Me too. That's my point. They still got work to do for all that time that
Buster
Posey was there.
bro.
Not a great farm system.
Rank the NL East right now.
Oh, NL East. We should make Bob do that when we bring him on.
Braves and Phillies are ahead of the Mets right now.
Yes, Mets have more work to do.
I mean, listen, the Mets are not done. I've
no doubt.
been told this. They're not done.
Their payroll's only at like $200 million right now.
They're not done. They're going to go out and get some, whether it's Burns, Manaea, whoever they want to go out and sign, Fried. But they got work to do because they got to figure it out. They got to find some bullpen guys too.
Mm-hmm. Biggest misconception is people don't realize, look at the Yankees payroll right now and the Mets payroll. Right now, the Yankees are like $100 million ahead of
Well, that's because of Judge and Stanton.
Yeah, Rodon,
Cole back in.
They've got big money boys.
They do.
Yeah.
LeMahieu's just sitting there making a lot of money.
Yeah. The Mets have what? It's Lindor and Soto making a big chunk of the cash.
Well, they lost. Edwin Diaz makes a ton.
Yeah, Edwin Diaz makes good money.
Senga makes a little bit.
What was Starlin Marte's deal? I forgot. He should be at the end of it. It was pretty good deal.
But it wasn't a team killer like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It wasn't $30 million a year. So
the
Mets have to go do more because they're not a complete team. They're not even close.
Well, then let's do this. Bob
I don't mean this, but are we really going to count on Clay Holmes to be a starting pitcher next year for him?
If it fails, he'll just be a setup man.
Okay.
It's a good
But I'm just saying, but then you got to find a starter to fill that spot.
Yes.
It's cool you got a guy that can pitch in the 7th inning for you, but I want a guy that can give me 7 innings. Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.